Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum and namaste. Welcome to another inspirational episode number 103 of the Limelight. I'm your host, Fareen here. I am a podcaster, a voice coach, and also a podcasting coach. And today we have on a hot seat two amazing people, Heather and Francis, who are the co-founders of Confidence to Cabaret. So, listeners,
Hi.
please welcome our guests, Heather and Ryan.
Hi. Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited to be here.
We are.
Wow, I like the way you guys always talk on your live shows, and I wanted you all to be in my podcast to do the same and give more confidence to our listeners.
Amazing.
Okay, so let me ask the question to Heather or Ryan, whoever wants to answer. What inspired? Okay, before I ask about confidence to cap, tell our listeners about yourself, Heather.
Oh, great. I am a training consultant, so I travel globally running conferences for communication and interpersonal skills, and I'm a business coach, or at least I was before COVID.
Okay.
All of my
Well,
passion is
Ryan.
about all of my passion is about how we connect and how people, how people feel through the world, the self-awareness that we need, and really just, my whole passion now is about helping people raise their confidence.
Yes, truly. So, Ryan, tell our listeners about yourself.
Hi. So my name is Ryan. I've spent the last sort of just over 10 years performing nationally and internationally as a cabaret artist. And it has been a wonderful and insane experience, literally taking me all over the world doing what I've been doing, mainly as a drag performer and host and burlesque dancer. The great thing about it, other than just the wonderful people that I've met along the way, is the fact that as a host, I was able to use my platform to talk about things that I feel really passionate about. So things like politics and things like social change. However, at a certain point, I started to shift and I started talking about things that were specific to people on a really personal level, things like mental health and things like gender and society in a very different way. And there was this big click, and my audiences started speaking to me in a way that was really, really interesting. They were coming up to me after shows and sort of saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know we could talk about this stuff in like an open environment. I didn't know that was an option." And so I had this huge shift in my ability because I was like, right, okay, well, I can start talking to people on a really different level now, and I can maybe do something to to help them kind of bolster that confidence. And then COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
So COVID hit, and my kind of artistic career, whilst it continues, it wasn't I wasn't able to take the stage. I wasn't able to do that and see people in the flesh in the same way. So I wasn't able to do what I was usually doing. And Heather sort of came to me and sort of said, we've been friends for a long time and we've been working together for quite some time as well. Heather said to me, all the skills that we have in common are really transferable. And if you want to keep helping people and if you want to keep doing this, then why don't we do it together and make something of it and actually create a community where we can do that? And thus, Confidence Through Cabaret was born.
Wow, cool. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And who named it Confidence to Cabaret?
I think Heather came up with the name.
Yeah, we went through a few different names.
Yeah.
We were Crash Course Cabaret for quite a while.
That's right. Yeah.
I have a lot of notes about Crash Course Cabaret, but we found out actually that what we wanted the name of our community to be really clear of who we are and the tools that we use that inform confidence building, and we didn't want it to seem like we teach cabaret or it was just for cabaret artists, because it isn't. It's for everyone. And it's just about using those tools that we would find in contemporary cabaret and transferring them into our own lives, into our personal life, into our work life, or into our stage life, whatever your stage is.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a lot of fun in Confidence for Cabaret.
We do.
Yeah.
Our Confidence for Christmas seasonal challenge is starting, this Saturday. Oh my God, this Saturday. It just seems just like time.
I cannot wait. We've been going for like 2.5 months as Confidence for Cabaret, and we've done a couple of challenges in that time, and this is our third challenge in 2.5 months.
Wow.
I wake up every day and I cannot wait for Confidence for Christmas, because this is all about, in a season, whatever way that you're celebrating, often we put too much emphasis on trying to be perfect, or this year maybe thinking, COVID, we're missing things, it's not the same as before. And we really want people to have the message that you need to take time for yourself. And yes, you need to look after your family and your work and your friends, but you need to look after yourself.
Yeah.
And so that's our message for our 12-day challenge. 12 days!
Oh my God.
I will surely enroll, and listeners, whoever are listening, do try it out, and it's always going to be fun.
Absolutely. You've seen our videos. You know what we're like.
Yeah.
It only gets more ridiculous from here.
Yes, very true. And
sometimes
when you do
it
what
can be
you love, I mean, I'm trying to say, when you do what you love, it doesn't look like a work to us, and we get excited, as Heather said, every day to wake up and to do the mission what we want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. Now, you must have challenges when you started this community. Different kinds of people. If it's a new thing, or you have to get people in the community. What were the challenges according to you?
Well, one of the things that was really interesting about the way we kind of started with Confidence to Cabaret is we were really clear on the kind of the mission statement. So whilst elements and blocks of it may have changed and we've refined our view, the mission statement was always kind of the same. The mission statement was always to help create a community that is supportive of itself. So it's all about creating a space where people feel comfortable to open up and try different things and experience the kind of joy that we access from using Cabaret. So it wasn't, as Heather says, it was never about teaching Cabaret. It was about the skills that Cabaret can give you to lead your life with confidence and joy. So I think the biggest challenge really was just making sure that we were getting everything onto the right level and making sure that we were on the right pathway so that we could guide people and work with them effectively, And that was always the thing. We always knew what our intention was. I think it was just more of like, how do you refine that and how do you get that out to more people? And truthfully, I think the big secret to that is just being passionate about what you do. If you're passionate, people come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was we know what we're doing in terms of content. We have the information, we have the skills and knowledge and experience, but we didn't know how we were going to make this work, and we're still working through a lot of that. Technology and so sometimes you think, I want to do this, and then you think, I don't know how to do this, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, that is very true. I've learned so many things in this
But that's the
pandemic.
exciting thing about it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the big, one of the big secrets that we can all kind of vouch for when anyone is starting out is that there's this myth that before you start something, you either need to be an expert in it or you need to know it completely. And it's just not true. Nothing has, every time that something really interesting, innovative happens or anything like that, it's because people have tried and experimented, like the greatest pieces of art in the world, often those have come from years of experimentation that haven't quite worked out or is indicative of something that people don't necessarily think is going to work. But over time, you refine that and you put it back and you just create from it,
Very true, very true.
And we're just learning this today. I mean, we're always learning.
Yeah.
You're the same.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I saw your website. Wow, it's coming up so nice.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we are so excited to launch that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So now you said about the skills which are there in Cabaret, you're going to put across and help people. So
Yeah.
what are those skills? I want to know.
Well, so a lot of it is about kind of mindset. A lot of it is about sort of saying, how do I feel about myself? And it's about self-acceptance. I might not be the way that I want to be, or the size that I want to be, or the doing the things that I want to be. But while we're working on those things, it's so important to say, I accept myself, and we want to help people to find their voice. We want to help people to take up their space, and we want to help people to accept themselves where they are. Perfectly imperfect, we always say.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we can carry on, we can grow, we can progress from there. But we start from where we're strong, and that is where we are now. And then we move, and then we grow. And so in Cabaret, there is something for everybody, because everybody is accepted, and everybody is wonderful how they are. And that's the main kind of foundation for me, at least in Cabaret. And then there are lots of skills.
Yeah, exactly.
We talk about, we ask people to look in the mirror. And when was the last time you looked in the mirror? Like really looked at your mirror, not looked at your hair or your teeth or whatever you're doing in the mirror, but actually look at you in the mirror.
Yeah.
And we did an exercise in one of our challenges where we asked people to look in the mirror for 30 seconds, and people were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true.
And it's like, with Cabaret and with the skills that we both have harnessed from, our years of doing it and being involved, there's exercises that are quite common to a lot of the stuff that we've done, such as body tracing, which we brought into a couple of our sort of our exploratory series when we started. And it's not something we're done with because it's such an interesting thing. Body tracing is one of these is a great moment, especially at the start of like a burlesque journey, where you can really ground yourself in the physical sensation of being you. And you do it in a way that is kind of almost, you can do it in any way you want. It could be tender, it could be sort of passionate, it could be any number of different things, but it teaches you how to be in touch with your body. So, it's just that simple act of like tracing the arm, for instance. When you do that in front of a mirror, and when you look at yourself and you connect not only with the sensation of you doing it, but also with the image of you doing it, it can be really, but it can also help to guide you into moment of realization about how you're perceiving yourself and how you're perceiving your body. And there's so much within the world that says, one of my favorite things to say, particularly when I'm hosting, and we've talked about this a lot, myself and Heather, is that there's a great artist called Lydia Lunch, and she once said, the first thing they take from you is pleasure. And the most radical thing you can do is take pleasure back. So, and we believe that wholly. That doesn't have to be physical pleasure. It can be any number of aspects of you. It's all about the different, layers and aspects of you that deserve to feel that strength and that warmth and that tenderness, because we all deserve it. And we're often told that we don't, and we're not supposed to feel that way, or we can't, do this, or you shouldn't do that, or, all of these rules that people make up. And that's what Cabaret is really teaching us. You don't have to follow those rules. Don't play somebody else's game. Do things for yourself. Embrace your own truth and your own voice, because it's beautiful and valid and wonderful.
Wow, this is brilliant. And I saw a quote from your website. It's your body, your world, your stage.
Ah!
Yes! That is it. That is damn right.
Yeah. Yeah. And we all have a stage of some kind. Maybe right now, going on Zoom with our work colleagues or customers, or maybe it's like yourself, having a podcast, or maybe it's just even showing up on Facebook. We all have a place where we choose as our stage. So this isn't, we're not just talking about, wanting to be a stage performer. I mean, that's great if you do, but it's about really kind of stepping into your spotlight, wherever that is, and really just feeling good about that. And that's what brought me to Cabaret, because that was a personal journey. And that body tracing that Ryan was talking about, I wanted to cry the first time I did it, because I realized I wasn't taking up my own space. I wanted to be small.
Yeah.
And we ask you to just kind of expand and try and accept and just be how you are.
So lovely. Amazing. I would really like to try something. Yeah.
It's an amazing journey to go through and work with the tools that you would find in contemporary cabaret. It really is. And all of it applies. All of the the business tools, they're transferable. They all fit together with confidence.
Yeah.
Well, now after all these serious questions and answers about this, I would like to have a rapid round session with both of you all.
Okay. Ryan's ready now. Ryan's ready. You don't know what
I will ask a question to Heather and one question to Ryan. Okay, so first, Heather. Okay. If you had to choose between two superpowers, one is invisibility, second is teleportation, which one would you choose?
Oh, teleportation. I never want to be invisible. Never. I've been there.
Okay.
It's not.
That's nice. Work. That's very nice. Okay. Now, Ryan, which is the strangest food have you eaten?
The strangest food? Okay. That would be spiced larvae. Yeah, I know. It was quite tasty actually. It was like one of those little rice cracker things. It was delicious. Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. That's really cool. Okay.
I know, right?
Okay. Heather.
I answered that question.
Which is your biggest addiction?
My biggest addiction. Okay, so it's got to be coffee. Caffeine is my drug of choice. I know, me too.
I don't have my coffee.
Oh no.
Yeah. Coffee
Oh,
is the thing. We don't do anything for work until we have coffee.
Exactly. Yes.
cool. Okay. Ryan,
Yep.
so which is the one thing you have in your bucket list? Any one of the things which you can share with us you on your bucket list?
On my bucket list. Oh, that is easy. To perform a play I've been working on with a couple of friends since for the past 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's,
All the
after lockdown. Let's hope it comes together.
that will happen soon, very soon.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, Heather, if you had to give a name to your life as the movie title, what would it be?
I'm gonna go back to my perfectly imperfect. My whole life has been not perfect, but
Okay.
that's perfect. You know, like we get to be how we are, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And my movie about me would be all imperfect.
Right. Okay, Ryan, tell me about one thing other than the coffee which you cannot live without.
I cannot live without music.
Ooh, okay, that's
I
nice.
cannot live without music. There is no point, there is no joy without music, as far as I'm concerned in my life. Just, I need it.
Superb. Okay, those were good, amazing answers. You did both did really nice. Great.
Thank you. I love the rapid fire round. It is fun.
Do this all day.
I know. Yeah. More questions.
Keep on asking stuff, but we have limited time. So every question. Yeah. Okay. Now we have reached the last session of my podcast where I always ask for advice from our guests. So I will ask for your advice so that you can give it to our listeners, viewers.
Okay. Should I go first or should you?
You can go first. I've gone first last today.
Sure, no problem.
But don't say what I was going to say.
You don't say what I was going to say. The thing I think I probably want people to know or to be able to take on this is that confidence, much like Cabaret, is a journey. So it's a series of step-by-step moments. The trick is that the actual end point, our destination, is never fully set. And truthfully, is never actually the goal. People have this idea that they have to have certain markers achieved, certain points in their life, set in stone. You have to do this by this time, and you have to do this by this time, and you have to do this by this point. And it's always a case of we're playing by somebody else's standard, we're playing by somebody else's rules, somebody else's preconceived ideas of who and what our lives should look like. And we don't have to live that way. The greatest thing I ever learned from Cabaret, and continue to learn because it's the process of embodying it, is that this is a journey. We can go on it together, we can support each other, we can light our way along that path. But the only way we can do that is by committing to the process of doing it and knowing that it's actually just a process. And that's the thrilling point of it all. The excitement, the energy, the beauty, the wonder of it, it doesn't come from reaching your final point, whatever that might be. It comes from the journey and how we accept our challenges. And that's what we want to do with Confidence Through Cabaret. Join our community, come find us and see what we're talking about. It's about that process and it's about you stepping into your own beauty and joy.
Lovely. Heather.
So I have had a lot of difficult times and a lot of difficult circumstances, like many people. And the one thing that I always come back to is about our choice for response. So responsibility is what I talk about. And we always can choose our response. So when we're in a place where lots of things are happening, we can start to feel small. You know, there's all this stuff coming in on us, and it makes us shrink in our space. And when you can find a way to look at what you can do, and even if it's small steps, and some days what you can do is tiny, but just finding ways to be more proactive, just finding ways to take steps forward, start to push away those difficulties and start to slowly clear space for you. So I always say control the controllables. And for me, that's been the main thing. When I start focusing on what I can't control, it gets more difficult. So what I can do, and it's just daily habits, and it's just little by little, and it's yeah, I want to be somewhere further down the road, but it's just a little bit at a time, and having that proactivity.
Both of your advices were so good, and I hope our listeners get some value from this.
Thank you.
And Heather and Ryan, thank you so much for taking time to do this podcast with me, and I'm super excited for your journey. All the best to you.
It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you. And we love having you in Confidential Cabaret community on Facebook. It's just,
it really is. Thank you so much for joining us. It's such a pleasure sort of chatting with you and doing all this. It's really great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. My pleasure. Well, okay, listeners, viewers, you have watched this episode, and please click on the like button. Also, comment, share, and also I have shared in the details of the Confidence Through Cabaret community. Do join there, and also more details will be also put across. And thank you for listening. You all have a great day, great night ahead. Bye bye. I love it.
Bye.
Thank you.